welcome back to the United Stand. We are here in sunny LA on Venice Beach, and this is your Manchester United versus Arsenal preview with Cecil from AFTV. Thank you for joining us and being here.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for asking me back. Obviously, we did a talk on United a few months back actually when the season was on, and now we're in pre-season. It's nice. The sun's out. We're in LA. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, last year you did beat us, to be fair.
No, we didn't beat you.
No, you did. Yeah, last year on tour you did. You did it at MetLife
in
New York.
Not
in the league. In the league, we got the
yeah. It was 1-0 long. Yeah. We should have actually.
Don't.
We should have
Beth,
done something.
Don't do it. No.
We should have though.
Don't do it.
But you know what? You still can't win the league. Anyway.
So I should have remembered this from last time. The little slidings. Go on.
Anyway. Oh yeah. And how many trophies was it? Oh, the plane has just helped you because I said how many trophies was it last season?
Yeah, it was 0, but but
how many did United win?
But where
again?
would you rather be? Where would you rather be? With Arsenal and challenging again and just more promising future for our club, on the right track, or fair enough, you've got a trophy last year, but covering up a load of scars, tracks, cuts of what's really happening at the club. Where would you rather?
Right, okay.
Would you rather sit?
I can be realistic. Arsenal ahead of us. We know that, but in pre-season, it's time for Manchester United fans to have a bit of confidence because we have left behind the 8th place finish in the Premier League. We have left behind every week being like, is this really how we're playing again? Everyone's got positivity about. We've made 2 signings. We're looking to make more signings, new ownership, new appointments. Ten Hag looks very happy. The team look like they're together. This is where the good stuff is. And you're in pre-season, everyone's smiling. Fast forward to a few months' time, and it's like, oh, we're back here again. Hopefully not. But right now, Man United fans are confident because Arsenal, United, clean slate. We're both going to go into the season with the same number of points. And we'll see how we build.
Do you know what? I understand what you're saying now. I do understand it. You've made signings early. Ineos has come in and showed intent. I said on the preview I did over there with AFTV that for me, I'll be honest, I was quite surprised by it, how serious you guys have just kicked off early.
Has it worried you, be honest? Hasn't it?
I think you'll do well this season. I'm not going to say I'm worried because I think Arsenal will still finish above you. I think we'll still be, regardless of us not making early signings, I think we're still ahead of you guys that you mentioned before. But I was surprised you guys have been so, fast moving when it comes to getting signs, especially when there's been major tournaments on the Euros, Copa America and whatnot. So fair play to you guys. I get the excitement, new signs, new ownership, all of that, and new people at the club. But it is a rebuild though, and I feel like you could be building yourself up for, when the season actually starts, upset and misery, because I think you're going through a rebuild because of how the pre-season started and the signs are coming in. You might be jumping a bit too ahead. Don't get me wrong, I think you'll do better than what you did last season, but it is a rebuild. I want you to. I'm sure you know that as well.
I understand that, and I feel like honestly, standing here right now, I do think Arsenal finish ahead of us. Like I do, because I think you're further along on the project. I think Arteta is definitely more settled than what Ten Hag is.
Yeah.
But you guys need to start getting some trophies on the board 100%. To kind of move forward with that. For us, we have the trophies and we know how to win. We need to know how to play football. Like we need to actually play football on a consistent basis. That's gonna allow us to compete the way that you guys can compete in the league. But overall, before we get into the pre-season and players that are available, I mean, your transfer window, Calafiori is coming in. I expected you guys to sign a striker, but how are you feeling about your transfer window at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, majority of Arsenal fans want a striker. The ones I've spoken with anyway, for sure. It's something that, as much, to be fair, we scored a lot of goals last season, but everyone's been saying it for multiple windows that we need a striker. We need someone with a killer instinct in that box, and I was surprised to see the link to Calafiori. I was surprised to see the signing because I just think every season Arteta does seem to sign a centre-back and put him left-back or
defender.
If he
does that, by the way. Cut the cameras. I can't see another 4-back centre-back.
He's gonna do that.
Can he have a season off copying Pep Guardiola? One season off copying Pep Guardiola. Gavardio goes to left-back. Next thing you know, Calafiori's coming and going to left-back. Get your own ideas.
Listen. City have Haaland, and we haven't followed the guy and getting a big striker.
That's true.
We haven't followed that model. So, you're right. I think
that's the model you should be following.
Well, to be fair, we all want a striker, but on the market right now, realistically, when you're looking at it, I'm not. Victor Osimhen would be great, but I'm not fully sold. I wanted Isak, but that's going to be. He's not going to be taken from Newcastle. People are talking about Ollie Watkins, but there's no way Villa are going to sell him. Ivan Toney, there was word that he had a meeting with Arsenal, and Arteta didn't like, his mindset and didn't think he's the right fit for Arsenal. So that's kind of out the window. Yeah, there's Guy Carrez. There's loads of different players being mentioned, but no one really seems like the star player that is really going to put Arsenal to the next level. So I can see why. I honestly don't believe we're going to sign a striker at all.
No, I don't think you will.
I don't see it happening anymore. I think the priority will be a winger, whether that's cover for Saka or someone to challenge Saka, or someone who's versatile that can play either in the false nine or play on the wing. But I'll be honest, one signing so far, we want more. I know, okay, we signed an 18-year-old from Ajax, a goalkeeper, but a major signing in Calafiori. I think it will improve Arsenal. I think he's a good player. But still a little bit underwhelmed. They say defences win you titles. I'm still waiting for the title. We've signed defenders for multiple windows now. So hopefully this could be the one. It's a good signing, but we are wanting more. I think the fan base are as well.
The question is for you, Man United have signed Yoro.
Don't do it, Beth.
Is Yoro?
Don't do it.
Is Yoro
Don't do it.
got the abilities to challenge Saliba?
Don't put
eventually,
Saliba
not now,
okay.
not now.
We're not talking now.
I'm not talking now, but I'm talking eventually. How old Saliba? Like 22?
Yeah, 22, 23.
Whereas Yoro, he's 18. I get it. Saliba went out on a couple of loans, but Yoro has also been building himself up in the French league. It tends to be good for centre-backs to build themselves up in that league. He looks, he's played one pre-season game for us, so I won't get carried away. But he looks top draw, to be fair.
He's definitely a quality player. There's no doubt about that. But he is young, and granted, you've got Mainu who's come in young and he's flourished.
Good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah, that's a great saying.
How old was Saka when he burst?
Oh, very young. Exactly. Same, very young. 18 as well in Europa League when under Unai Emery. But for me, for you guys as well, young player, big pressure. United are a big club. I just feel it can go one of two ways. I've seen you guys kill a lot of young prospects or big players, actually. I've seen when they come to United. And I don't want to sound that as a dig because I think Yoro's a good player, but there's a lot of pressure and you guys are building them up. There's conversations about Saliba now and the comparisons, and I just think, whoa, slow down. Let him get a few minutes at the club, let the season start before we start putting that conversation between him and Saliba. I think United fans do have to pull back. I know you said not now, but in the future, but let him at least start the season. That's my opinion. Like I said, it's a lot of pressure for him. I think he's a good player, but it'll take time. You mentioned it, Saliba went on 3 loan spells. Mikel Arteta said, you're not ready yet, 3 loan spells. And then we really started to see, yes, this player's ready. I remember him playing defending against Mbappe and locking him up. And then he obviously came to Arsenal. And the 2 seasons that we've seen, I know it's been more than that, but 2 seasons of last 2 seasons have been superb from Saliba. He's one of the best in the league for me. So
Agreed.
One of the best young defenders, actually, and he's living up to it. But for Yoro, it could in the future, but I'm just saying, let the young player bed in. It's hard to when you're at a big club, but just give him, let the season start first.
I think he'll be good enough this season. Gonna be honest. I think he's good enough to play. But
who does he play alongside? Who gets dropped for him?
Lissandro Martinez and Yoro will play together because Varane's just gone, hasn't he?
Oh,
so if you've got the partner, this is what I mean. A partnership with Lissandro Martinez and Lenny Yoro, to me.
You gave Yoro Vidic's number, right? Is that they gave him?
Yeah. He's got Vidic's number. Who for me is one of the best defenders I've genuinely ever seen play, in my lifetime. I still think he's underrated. But there's a lot of pressure, of course there is, because obviously, Varane, again, another player that's underrated. I think he was quality for United when he was at his best. Yeah. He's got to take over that. We've not signed anybody else. You get past Yoro and Martinez and you got Lindelof and Maguire. Not good enough. So
he's made good. So you got signed. Obviously, he's made some signings already. Though you still got, I know you're saying defensive wise, but you made a lot of good signings.
De Ligt will be coming in soon. Don't you worry. With your one signing over there.
Cheeky. De Ligt. Will he? Do you actually think he's coming?
Yeah.
Generally,
I bet you that we sign him. Yeah, 100%.
I bet me then.
Okay, how much? You.
But we're in LA.
We'll let the comments decide.
Yeah.
Top comment can decide the bet.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Whatever the top comment says, we'll do that.
We'll do that. De Ligt's coming.
I don't think he's coming, but if you think he is.
De Ligt's coming. Good signing though if he does quickly.
Yeah, good signing.
Okay, so let's talk about pre-season anyway, because obviously the season, I'm going to get your predictions in a second actually, because I've got to get the predictions in. But pre-season, I know a lot of your players have been Euros, Copa America, etc. Them competitions that have been going on. But what are the players that we can expect to see face Manchester United? The names that we expect to see Arsenal be playing.
Well, Gabriel Jesus will be there. Obviously, he's been with the team, so he'll be there. Ben White, we played against Bournemouth, so I'm kind of naming some of the players that kind of featured there. Timber, who, by the way,
I'm excited to see him.
Yoro Timber is a superb player, and you'll see it obviously on Saturday.
Him, didn't we?
I know you did. I did a welcome video, and the whole crux of it was the fact that we kind of stole him from you when he was lining him up. But he's a quality player, and he's come back obviously after the knee injury. I think there was doubts to see if he'd reach that level, because mentally it does affect you when you have a serious knee injury. But he came back. He was aggressive against Bournemouth. He was flying into tackles, so he's ready. We haven't got a keeper. Klein was in goal against Bournemouth.
What about Ramsdale?
Nah,
he was it.
Yeah, so he was there at the final.
It's mad that, like, when you don't play a minute, but you still get a 3-week holiday.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit crazy, but you know they need a break, so I get it. So that's a bit of a concern, but
you've got to be mentally locked in, I suppose.
Exactly. We obviously got Trossard there as well. He'll be there. Jorginho will be there as well. So Thomas Partey, he played really well against Bournemouth. But if I'm honest, the youngsters are really shining through, and I mentioned it before last year in pre-season when I saw Kobe Mainoo for the first time, and he bossed the midfield, to be fair to him, on his first appearance from what I've seen him, and he went on obviously and done what he'd done in the season, obviously representing England. But that's when I saw him and said, wow, what a talent. And I feel like yesterday in the Bournemouth game I saw Ethan Nwaneri. He's a young played in the 10 yesterday, but he plays rather on the wing or up front. He was quality, so someone to look out for. Salah Dean as well, a really good player. We've got a lot of youngsters that are of quality, so I'm excited to see them. And then also, just quickly to mention as well, there is players joining the tour. So Gabriel Magalhaes obviously was with Brazil for the Copa America. He's joined today actually.
So might come on.
So you might see him, Martinelli as well, and Havertz. So they may make an appearance. I don't know. Calafiori's over here doing his medical. You may see him. I mean, I think it's too soon, but he might be on the bench. I would love to see him on the bench and get some minutes, but that would be for us as well. It'd be nice to see, and for the American fans as well, for see a new signing. So hopefully he does, pop up off the bench for the SoFi. But they're kind of the main sort of players. The rest are not here because they're obviously being rested. But it'll be a competitive game. Who have you got? Who's the people you're really looking out for?
People I'm really looking out for. I was about to say, obviously, young talent always prevails for Manchester United, especially on these pre-season tours. You get to see them. And I was about to say, I'm still waiting for Mikel Arteta to bring through a youth player. Smith Rowe's been pushed to the side, hasn't he? And there's been nobody else. There isn't, though. That is something that you guys have been lacking under Arteta. That's one thing.
Well, the youngsters have grown under his management, but he didn't obviously bring a lot of the ones that are in the team right now through. And you're right, a lot of the youngsters. I speak to a lot of the young academy players at Arsenal, and they were a bit frustrated. They didn't see really a clear path. But that's what happens when you're challenging. It's difficult. It's a lot of pressure to risk. You know how fine margins are when you're up against City. You can't risk putting a youngster on and you have a bad game and cost you. I know we didn't win it, but it's a big risk to let them come in.
I understand that. It's different when you're on a season like Manchester United are on last season, and compared to when you are challenging. I get that. But also as well, sometimes, are they good enough? That's something that you've got to consider. But hopefully, speaking about young talent, we'll see that come through, because it's always nice to see that. But for the same for Manchester United, really, Ethan Collier, midfielder, that looks like he's going to be the one that's kind of Ten Hag had the arm around the shoulder of him in the FA Cup final, the same way he did with Kobe Mainoo, and he seems to be getting the nod by Ten Hag. He seems to be really, really fancying him, so he's one to watch out for. Yeah. I mean, Ahmad looks great.
Finally?
Yeah, finally.
Jeez, I don't know why every time I was not. He took time to finally integrate him, but yeah.
But you know what? If he goes on to have like a proper good season this season, everyone will say, you know what, maybe he did handle it right. I still think he should have had more minutes last season, personally. But for me, at the moment, like, he has to start on the right, which then makes a big debate over Garnacho and Rashford on the left. Yeah. And that's going to be an interesting one. Rashford again, had a really poor season last season, but we know what he's like. He can bounce back. Everyone's expecting that, so he's one to watch.
Will Sancho be there?
Yeah,
he was very impressive against us last year in New York at the MetLife, and obviously we know what happened with him, and he obviously went to Dortmund and whatnot. But I don't know what's going to happen. I think he probably does leave, but if he does stay and it is really mended between him and Ten Hag, that is someone to worry about. I'll be honest. I think Jadon Sancho's got abundance of talent, and if he's
got the talent.
Yeah, if he's confident, he'll play well. I do also want to say, you spoke about the youngsters coming through, and he said if they're good enough. It is different depending on the season. I know you kind of said that, but I remember when Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe came through, Arsenal were in the dark times-ish, and they kind of
relied on them the same way we did with Kobe and
exactly.
Garnacho,
they put Arsenal on their back. So even with Martinelli as well, when he was young, when he came through, so there was a time when Arsenal weren't so great. So it does depend on what season you're kind of having. But yeah, we'll go back to that. But Jadon Sancho, I'll be intrigued. Listen, I hope he does play Saturday, because I'll be intrigued to see if he is still at top level.
I think he will. He played in the last game, so I don't see why he wouldn't. And he actually did. He did all right. I mean, he did quite well, actually. He did quite well. Thing is with Sancho, for me, I know how talented he is. And technically, I feel like he's one of our best players, technically, on the ball. But there's always just seems to be something missing from his performances. And that's what you want to see. You want to see that spark from him. But will be interesting. I mean, looking forward to the game. Can you give us a score prediction?
Score prediction. Oh, I think you guys are further along in your pre-season training. I don't want to give excuse. No, do you know what? I'm going to back my boys.
Excuses are coming in.
No, it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, but I'll be honest, it could go 2-1 either way. If I'm being real, I'm not filled with masses of confidence because we haven't got our full 11, nor do you as well, to be fair. But I don't know, I think you guys, like I mentioned before, I think you're further along. 2-1, what are you saying?
I was literally about to say 2-1, but to Manchester United's way.
I
fancy Jadon Sancho maybe to get a goal, you know. He played well against you guys last year.
He really did. He probably could. Where's your, obviously I asked this in our preview, where's your minimum expectation for next season? Where do you think you guys, what do you expect minimum-wise out of trophies and league position?
Top 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fair, okay,
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, and all the comments you're about, Beth. No, I think we can get top 4. I think last season we massively underperformed.
And a trophy?
There's many, yeah, I'll get on to that.
Oh.
There's many players that are new players for us. One that I forgot to say, Mason Mount, number 7. Barely had a kick last season. It's like a new player. Jadon Sancho, potentially. Amad Diallo, who barely got any time, had an injury. He's going to be starting the season, hopefully, touch wood, fresh. And he's one for me, who should be getting into the starting 11. You've got new signings. You've got Yoro. You've got Xerxes coming in. That gives you a bit of depth as well in terms of the striker position. I mean, there's other players. Luke Shaw, we didn't have for the whole season. Lisandro Martinez, we didn't have for the whole season. So United should be a better team. Plus, you know, Ten Hag's been there for another year. He's got the backing of the staff around him, the new appointments, you know, a structure. So I expect us to get top 4, and I also have a sneaky feeling that the Europa League could be United's this year. Because we've done the Carabao Cup, we've done the FA Cup, Europa League, and then people say, Beth, where are the standards? I'll say, yeah, we've got to box them trophies off to then go for the big ones.
Okay.
You know. So
stepping stones.
Stepping stones. Yeah, what about you? What are your expectations?
Big channel.
Got to say the league, haven't you?
Am I gonna put my whole chest out here and do it this early on? The season even started. I think after, you know, 2 seasons of challenging, getting close, I think it's right to say that I have to believe in Arsenal to get it this season. I mean, City is still in the league, Pep's still here. That is going to be the problem, but I think we're doing the right progression, the right steps. Talking about stepping stones, I think it's only right for me to say this is the year that we get a trophy, and I want a major, and that'll be the Premier League. Champions League, I think it's too soon. We could put potentially, I'm not going to say a double, but if we don't get the Premier League, I expect us to pick up definitely an FA Cup or Carabao, because Arteta has said many a times of late as well that he has to take these cup competitions seriously. We need to bring in silverware, and I've been disappointed in his cup run. So if it's not the league, it's not good enough getting a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, because I've seen it. Not a Carabao Cup, it's been a long time, but FA Cups, many of them. So Premier League, chest out there, we're going to win it.
What about Champions League?
No, we're not ready yet. Not ready to win it.
I like the realistic.
So yeah, we've got to be honest. I mean, we've got to be honest. We've got to be honest. So yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
But look, thank you very much for joining us. So you're going first, is your prediction for Arsenal?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's out there. I'm going 3rd. People think I'm crazy.
That's ambitious.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Pre-season, it's good vibes. It's good vibes.
So how are you going? First, second, first. What you saying? Arsenal first? Go on, say it.
City, Arsenal, United. Sorry.
Why do you want City?
I don't want them. But I've got to be realistic. They've got Pep Guardiola, and look at their team. Come on, I've got to be honest.
All right.
But anyway, get your predictions in down below, everyone. Hit a like on the video. Your score predictions for the pre-season game. It's going to be a tough game against Arsenal. Let's not take them lightly. It's going to show where our levels are at. SoFi Stadium here in LA is going to be amazing. Before the game, any fans that are out there will be in and around the stadium. Come and join us. Come and have your say on the United stand. Cecil, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
We'll see what happens.
See you soon.